Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Animal Crossing video. Previously we covered every sibling in Animal Crossing New Horizons, such as Francine and Chrissy being sisters, as well as Resetti and Don being brothers, amongst many other examples. So today we are once again taking a deep dive into the lives of the Animal Crossing villagers, except this time we're taking a look at every relation in Animal Crossing, including parents, grandparents, uncles, cousins, and pretty much every family relation that wasn't covered in the previous sibling video. But before we highlight every Animal Crossing character that are related to each other, I just wanted to remind you I also upload daily on my Let's Play channel, The Maury Plays, where we are currently playing Animal Crossing City Folk and Kirby in the Forgotten Land. So if you're a fan of nostalgic Animal Crossing games or you want to see Kirby's latest abilities, please consider subscribing over there too. Anyway, starting with the most obvious and probably well-known family relation in Animal Crossing is of course Tom Nook and the Nookling twins, Timmy and Tommy. Several game guides as well as official Animal Crossing merchandise suggest Timmy and Tommy are Nook's nephews. This is widely accepted as true, although Tom Nook does contradict this in Wild World, stating they aren't related and are just his employees. However, in later games villagers do mention Tom Nook adopted them, so either way, Tom Nook and the Nooklings are considered family. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts about this relation in the comments below. Next up we have Joan, who until New Horizons was the travelling NPC in charge of selling turnips on Sunday mornings. Of course, Joan's relation is none other than Daisy May, who is in fact her granddaughter. Daisy May often mentions Joan, referring to her as Grams, and the pair even visit the roost together when invited by Amiibo. Speaking of Grams, we have Grams, an elderly turtle and the mother of Kapp'n. We also have Kapp'n's wife, Leilani, making Grams her mother-in-law, and not forgetting Layla, Kapp'n and Leilani's daughter, and Grams' granddaughter. That's a big family. Whilst Kapp'n has been around since the beginning of Animal Crossing, his family debuted in New Leaf, where they run the island shop and host island tours. They have all since been added to New Horizons. Whilst on the topic of marriage, we can't forget about Reese and Cyrus, the alpaca family. Both Reese and Cyrus debuted in New Leaf, where Reese runs the retail store and Cyrus provides the customization service. Reese and Cyrus went on to play large roles in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and have since been added to New Horizons as part of Halves Archipelago and Open Air Market. Cyrus will now save you the hassle of buying customization kits and certain materials and will customize almost anything in the game for bells. The relationship is also celebrated in New Horizons as part of the wedding season, honouring their anniversary. Next up we have Caitlin, a travelling character whose daughter is the more recognisable Katie. Both Caitlin and Katie debuted in Wild World, where they would randomly appear in your town after you visited a friend's town. In short, the two would be separated, with Katie, who's known as the Lost Kitten, in one town and Caitlin in another. The objective was to reunite the family members by travelling back to the original town. Of course, players were rewarded for completing this side quest. Unfortunately, Caitlin never returned after City Folk, but her daughter Katie went on to feature in New Leaf and New Horizons. Here we have Lyle, who according to Animal Crossing lore has a wife and two daughters. However, you may be more familiar with his niece, Lottie. Lyle debuted in Wild World with a rather sketchy connection to Red and is said to be scamming players out of insurance money. Despite the dodgy background, Lyle went on to host the Happy Home Academy and became an employee of Nook Homes that later introduced his niece Lottie, who you probably know as the founder of Paradise Planning in New Horizons. Now, Lyle isn't the only Animal Crossing character to have a family within the lore of the franchise that we don't get to meet. Apparently, Dr. Shrunk, who is often in charge of teaching us emotions and reactions, has a wife and son. Dr. Shrunk mentions this during his set on stage at the Marquee in City Folk. In New Leaf, Dr. Shrunk reveals he has a younger daughter too, implying he had another child sometime between City Folk and New Leaf. Next, we have the Snowfolks, another family of characters often forgotten about. Snowtyke and his brother Snowboy were of course mentioned in the Sibling Siblings video, but their parents Snowmam and Snowman also feature in Animal Crossing New Leaf. Typically, these characters are met depending on what size snowman you make and reward you with different event items from different series. Sadly, only Snowboy went on to feature in New Horizons, but maybe his mother, father and brother will return in a future game. Animal Crossing New Horizons introduced CJ as the host of the fishing tourneys, an apparent social media sensation. However, the fishing tourneys used to be hosted by his father, Chip. There aren't many references to this, but CJ does mention his old man taught him the ropes of fishing, and when Chip is invited to the roost, CJ will tag along. Interestingly, CJ eventually replaced Chip as the fishing tourney host in Pocket Camp too. Moving on, we have the exact same situation with Flick, who is the son of Nat. Both are known for hosting bug-offs, with Flick hosting the event since New Horizons. Despite not having similar features, this relation is often overlooked. However, it's worth remembering these two are chameleons, so it makes perfect sense. Now, speaking of Flick, he also has a relationship with CJ. These two live together, work together, travel to the roost together when invited using Amiibo, and even share a house together in Happy Home Paradise. It's confirmed in-game that Flick and CJ are partners, and widely accepted they have a business and personal relationship in Animal Crossing lore. Now, we've already mentioned Mr. Resetti and Don are of course brothers, but it turns out they have an unseen and implied family member called Vicious Volvini. Vicious Volvini is the Resetti's cousin, and mentioned during Mr. Resetti's rants when players forget to save in earlier versions of Animal Crossing. That's a pretty cool fact. Now, you may notice that all of these family relations are of course NPCs and special characters, but there is one known villager relation outside of siblings that makes this list, and that's Ike. Ike the cranky bear has a son called Poco, who features in Animal Crossing E+, which is the Japanese localization of the Western localization of the original Japanese release. We know Ike and Poco are related and father and son thanks to Ike's e-reader card that confirms this. I guess this implies Poco has a mother, but you could say that about every villager and special character, with maybe the exception of Farley and Serena, who are mystical characters, maybe. And that brings us to the player. As you know, players do have mothers and fathers known in-game as mum and dad, who regularly write letters to the players. Originally, dad only wrote on Father's Day, although did go on to write more frequently in New Leaf. Mum continues to write to us with what seems like several times a week. So there we have it, that's every relation and family member, not including siblings, that is officially acknowledged within Animal Crossing in one way or another. But are there any other villages that you think are probably related? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much to the patrons and channel members for supporting this content. Don't forget to subscribe to The More He Plays, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.